Why did you want to study abroad in Italy in the first place? Like, why was that the place that you wanted to go to?
Yeah, so the reason I came to Italy was because my family is Italian American. I'm the third or fourth generation, but I don't speak any Italian. My grandma cooks up some good pasta, but other than that, I really wanted to kind of get more engaged in the kind of culture of Italy. And also, I'm studying history up at UConn, so I figured instead of studying it and looking at pictures of art in a book or something like that, I could come here and see it in person.
All right, and what kinds of things have you been doing, like as a college student? What have you been busy doing? What have you been seeing, exploring, that sort of thing?
It's super easy to travel within Europe. You can get cheap flights and there's trains and buses running anywhere. So we've been traveling a lot. Mostly so far to start off, we've been in places in Italy, like Rome and Venice, Assisi, different places like that in the area. And then we're planning on leaving the country for spring break. So.
What goes through your mind, like when you first heard about the coronavirus being an issue and Italy being in the headlines so much with such a problem there? Kind of what was your gut reaction?
It was definitely kind of frightening because I feel like with a lot of these, whenever it's like a disease kind of case scenario, it's always kind of seems like it's far off. It's in some other place in the world, and yeah, it's something to think about, but it's not necessarily something directly affecting you. Whereas, now I was up in Venice and I was getting texts from my family and friends saying, "Are you okay? What's it like up there? It's what's going on." So, it's definitely it was just shocking that first kind of reaction. I'm in the middle of all this.
What will you do? I know your program has said come or go, like do as you wish, I guess. I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Like, what are you being told and what are you going to
Yeah,
do?
so they're kind of saying that as of right now, there's no ban on travel. They're not saying you can't, but at the same time, they're not recommending this, especially in higher risk regions like Milan and Venice. They're kind of saying you still can go. We're not saying no, but at the same time, just use good judgment. Don't just be running all over Europe and stuff.
What would it mean to you? My study abroad program was canceled my junior year of college because of SARS virus in China. Like, what would it mean to you if you had to pack up and come home?
That would be definitely devastating just because, this is kind of this is like the one semester I can go abroad in my college career. So, it would definitely just kind of almost like I'm being cheated, especially because see all my friends and stuff. A lot of my friends have gone abroad. I've talked to them about it and, they loved it. They got to go everywhere. And me, I feel like I've just begun and now already maybe being sent back.
And where is your family with all of this? Like, parents are already nervous when they send their kids to study abroad to begin with. Like, where are your parents at this point?
Yeah, my parents were definitely worried, especially because I was in Venice last weekend. I've been kind of talking to them nonstop. So far, there's been nothing about like, oh, we need you home right now. They're definitely just kind of saying, make sure you're listening to the authorities and stuff. Make sure you're listening to, your school, what UConn's saying. Don't if they say no travel, don't travel. And right now, they kind of want me to lay low, and I have midterms next week, so it's probably a good idea, anyways.
Yeah, and to that point, like, what are you doing differently? Or traveling less? And, like, give folks an indication as to how far you are from where the coronavirus has really been a
Yeah.
problem.
So I'm in Umbria, or Perugia, the capital city of Umbria. So far there's no cases here, but it's midway between Rome and Florence. So far things have been mostly up north, so they're not recommending. So we're not traveling anywhere up there. And then if we are traveling, it's mostly to close places. But again, we're such a close proximity to Rome and Florence, and those are again big touristy kind of places and stuff. So they're probably the next thing on the list and stuff if the disease is going to spread. So definitely I've just been not obviously limiting traveling and stuff and kind of just waiting things out. But also just kind of taking more precautions and stuff as far as basic health and hygiene. That's kind of the only thing I really can do.
Is it scary at all?
Definitely. Just hearing things in the news and stuff all the time, getting notifications on my phone, and again, being where the notifications are coming from, it's definitely frightening. You can't really feel it like in necessarily within like the city, but definitely like that first class back we had this week and stuff, we went into Italian, and of course we're supposed to be talking to each other, and it was definitely kind of an awkward kind of just cold kind of feeling, I guess. It definitely, I mean, people were nervous, and especially because a lot of us were traveling to these higher risk areas, so it's definitely frightening.
What is the local talk like? Are people talking about this? Is it like bar talk? Is it grocery store talk? Is it everything that everybody is talking about? What is that picture like?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a hotter topic, especially for people like me and stuff, and everyone in my program, because a big thing about going abroad is being able to travel, and that's the kind of the scariest thing is that I mean, people have planned spring breaks coming up. People have friends of friends and stuff who have been denied entry into those countries, and say you can come into France if you want to be quarantined for 2 weeks, or you can go back to Italy. So that's kind of been a hotter topic, mostly just getting around, and as far as staying here, I mean, like as far as like the what locals, it's mostly been okay. It hasn't been too bad, just because again we're not a high risk area, and you're kind of off the beaten path, so it's
Sure.
not too much in people's minds. But you definitely start to see people wearing masks and stuff around, which is definitely always an indicator.
Yeah, and so first of all, I just want to thank you. We've taken up 40 minutes of your time, so we certainly appreciate that. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that's either important to you or something that you think people here in our Connecticut audience should know?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely think that it's always something to it's still something to be like to be wary about. But I mean, people have definitely been texting and calling me nonstop, kind of saying, are you alive? Are you okay? And it is still like it's. I think definitely people are a lot more scared for me than I am of myself. I think, not to say that I'm making light of it, but I definitely I'm following basic precautions, and I think for those people who have people in Italy, definitely. I mean, we're doing okay. The Italian government and the institutions here are trying to keep the situation under control. So it's not like it's definitely.
The first weekend of May. Thank you so much. Enjoy Italy. I hope it does not become a big issue for you, and Scott owes you lunch when you get home, okay? Thank you so much.